Alright, so I gave you guys a huge hint here. For number one, we're looking for the GCF first. We look for the GCF, and then we factor as far as we can. I have 14 and 63 of my numbers. What's my GCF there? How'd you get 7? Okay, so in your calculator, hold on. Hold on. All right, so in your calculator, you're going to, what'd you say, Brian?
How I did it?
Yeah.
Through the math.
Math?
Move to the number and then type.
Uh-huh.
And you're going to put 14 comma.
14 comma 63, and then boom, it tells me 7. Okay, we can only do 2 numbers at a time.
You said number what?
So you're going to go to math, go over the number, and then hit 9, down to GCD. And then you're going to type 14 comma, which is above 7, and then 63. All right, look at my variables. I have x to the first and then x to the third. Which one is the smaller exponent? Just x. Y does not have anything in common with my 14x, right? So we can't just throw it in there. My GCF is 7x. Now I can divide. What's 14x divided by 7? 2. Be careful. That's a common mistake. 14 divided by 7, you guys put 7. 6 divided by 3, you guys put 3. Alright? Just be careful. We're dividing, not subtracting or adding, whatever you're doing. Alright, 63 divided by 7 gives me 9.
X squared.
Then I have x cubed divided by x, which is x squared. What happens to my y and all
Write
this?
it down.
Yep, my y just stays. You can't make it disappear. It just stays there. Alright, my second problem tells me I need grouping. Grouping is when I have 4. What do I do when I have 4 terms? Star Trek, right? We split them right down the middle. So on my left side, my GCF, my numbers are 3 and 4. Is there a number? Does 3 go into 4? So it's just 1, right? We don't have to write 1. Then I have n cubed and n squared. What's my GCF there? N squared. We need the smaller exponent. So now I'm going to divide. What's 3n cubed divided by n squared? 3n. And then negative 4n squared divided by n squared. Minus 4. On the right side, my GCF, what's between 9 and 12? Or is my GCF 3? And when I divide, I get, oh wait, when I divide, I get 3n minus 4. Do I have matching parentheses?
Yes.
Yes. So that becomes a factor. And my GCS become a factor. Any questions on grouping? All right, so number 3 is what we learned. Well, you guys learned it from the video, but we're going to talk about it. Difference of squares. We went over this during Stinger, but you two weren't here. Difference of squares is dose. Okay? D can stand for double parentheses. My O stands for opposite signs. My S stands for square root. So what we used to do was we made it x squared plus 0x minus 25. That 0x was my placeholder. And then I went into my AMT chart method, okay? We don't have to do that. There's a shortcut for it. Kind of shortcut to the shortcut. Another shortcut. So we're going to look for a binomial. Binomial is how many terms? 2. I have 2 terms. I have to have a subtraction sign. That's what difference means. If I have a binomial, subtraction sign, and two perfect squares, I can dose. I make two parentheses. That's my double parentheses. Have opposite signs. And I take the square root of each term. Charlie, what's the square root of x squared? Or what's the square root of 25?
5.
And that's my answer. Huh? Because what's the square root of 25? Yeah, we're taking the square root of each number.
So when those we get into square root.
Yes. Dose is square root. Soap is cube root. Okay, think about dose and 2. Okay, how they all right, when there's just a 1 in front of my x squared, like in number 4, I can just get right into my AM method. I need two numbers that multiply to give me what? Be careful. Negative 24. Remember, it's AM, MA, right? So, two numbers that multiply to give me negative 24, it has to give me negative 5. Look at your factor chart or use your calculator. If you forget how to do it in your calculator, you're going to look to see what you have to multiply by and put that number divided by x. Your factors will
What would
be
be negative 5 is?
yes. So I know I have 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. Which group could potentially give me 5? Or negative 5?
Negative 3.
Alright, so we can look at 3 and 8, what needs to be negative? Which one?
3 and 8.
3 and 8, my 8 gets negative. Because if I added 3 plus negative 8, I get negative 5. Like the rest. Here's our shortcut. Ronaldo, what do I do from here? I have my factors of 3 and negative 8. How do I make that into a...
You bring it down to x squared.
That's the long way. This is our shortcut.
No,
Did you skip this step?
probably.
Who can help them out? What's the shortcut? Once I have my factors here, we just have x and then positive 3, so x plus 3. And then we have x minus 8. Ronaldo, you were going to put it in grouping, like pull down the first, pull down the last, and plug in the middle.
Yeah.
That still works, but that's the long way. The shortcut is if we have just a 1 as my coefficient, so if 1 is in front of this highest exponent, we can just plug it in, yep. Whatever we get for our factors, that's our shortcut. All right, number 5. When the number that's leading is not 1, do I have a GCF here between 3, 10, and 8? No. So I have no choice but to swing. When I swing my first number, I now need two numbers that multiply to give me negative 24 and add to give me negative 10. Take a second to think about that one.
Negative 2.
So the 12 gets a negative, right? We need a negative 10 if we add them. All right, once we swing, what happens? Well, we swing one way and then we swing it back, right?
Yeah, we start fighting.
When we swing it back, we bring down my 3x squared, and we bring down our last, which is negative 8. Ronaldo, what goes in the middle?
Plus 2.
Plus 2, negative 12x. I'm going to flip mine. You can do it however you want. But I don't want to have a negative there because then when I split it into 2, we have to bring that negative out. It just gets a little messy. I just like to match them up better. If you have the 2x first, your work here will be different, but your answer will be the same. It's up to you. All right, on my left side, I have 3x squared and 12x. 3x, okay? All right, I pull 3x down, and I have x minus 4 left. On the right side, my GCF between 2x and 8 is 2. And then I have x minus 4. Sonia, do I have matching parentheses?
Yes.
Yep, so I know I'm doing it right so far. X minus 4, 3x plus 2. Number 6, sum difference of cubes. Alright, this is our SOAP. We also did this on the lesson you guys have to listen to. So come in there. Bernardo, say it with me. That last one or last one on this page. So I have a binomial and I have two perfect cubes. That's how I know I can SOAP this. My signs do not matter. In DOS, you must have a minus sign. In SOAP, you can have plus or minus. What we're going to do is we're going to make one normal parentheses and then one that's a little bit big. Alright, so let's look at my problem. X cubed plus 512. What is the cube root of x cubed? Just x. What is the cube root of 512? We'll grab your calculators and you can hit math 4 and then type in 512. That's how you bring up your
8.
8. Everyone get 8? Brian get 8? Math 4, 512. Alright. Those two cube roots will go in my first parentheses. Alright, and my second, I'm going to have 3 numbers here. Everything in my bigger bracket refers to the first one. So we square, multiply, square. If I square my first term, what is x squared? Just x squared, right? X squared is x squared. My middle term tells me to multiply these together. I'm going to multiply 8 and x together. What do we get? 8x. My last term tells me to square the last term. And what's 8 squared?
Is it on plus?
Nope. Look at your SOAP. Same, opposite, always positive. So my equation is starting with a plus sign. So what's my first sign for same?
Plus.
Opposite,
Minus.
always.
Plus.
That's my answer. I do my signs last. So far, so good? Alright, we have about 12 minutes. Alright, look at number 7. And I dose this. It looks like I can because I have a binomial. I have 2 perfect squares, but I don't have a minus sign.
So it's prime.
So it is prime. Dose means difference of squares. You cannot have addition unless it's from a GCF. That's a little different. But in this case, we don't. I'm going to skip number 8 for now. I think we know how to solve by grouping. Are you guys okay with that?
Oh, no.
Wait, grouping when you do the lines and
This
everything?
one?
Yes.
So you want to see it?
Oh, yeah.
Alright. So there's 4 terms, right?
Yeah.
We split them down the middle. Look at my left side. What's my GCF?
So we basically just do that.
Yeah.
Bro, I've been struggling on the homework with this before.
What's my GCF?
Sorry.
Alright, and when we divide,
But wouldn't it be x?
It's x, but then we have the square. Because square
because
is
this one has
smaller.
square and that has cube. But the square is...
Oh.
Ronaldo, you were pretty good at this. Why have you been struggling with the grouping?
I don't even know. Probably because the substitute was showing us how to do it.
Probably, I think you missed 2 days of this, because one day I was here and then one day I was not, or you weren't here or something. So you probably got a little behind. Alright, so then we bring down our 3. And I have x plus 2. That would have been homework C, I think.
Yeah.
But that's the one that I assigned backwards, remember? So you were freaking out about it if you didn't know how to do it, but that was my fault.
So we didn't just do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
All right, number 9 is kind of not difficult, but you got to pay attention. On number 9, we could swing it. There's a big number here. There's a 6, but we would get large numbers. I'm going to look for a GCF first. I have 6, 34, and 12. What's my GCF? Is 6 going to 34?
Oh, no.
I did the same thing. 2. I would check 6. Well, 6 doesn't work for 34. I would try 4. 4 doesn't work, so it is 2. And then I divide. When I divide, I get 3x squared minus 17x minus 6. I just took out the GCF. 6, 34, 12, the GCF is 2. So what I want to do is I want to look at that piece right there, the highlighted part. I still have to swing this because this number in front of my x squared is bigger than 1. When I swing, I need 2 numbers that multiply to give me negative 18 and add to give me what? Negative 17. So I have 18 and 1. Alex, are you with me? What needs a negative? Well, we do 18 minus 1, we get positive 17. We need negative. So it's going to be negative 18. Negative 18 plus 1, and I get negative 17.
Where did you get the 18 from?
Because I had to swing it.
Oh yeah, 3 times 6.
3 times negative 6, yeah. But once we swing, we know we got to swing it back. So I bring down my first. I bring down my last. On the inside, those are my factors. Negative 18x plus positive 1x. Alright, I have 4 terms, so I split it up. My GCF on the left side, I have 3x squared minus 18x. So my GCF is 3x. And then we divide. And I get x minus 6. On the other side, I divide by 1 because that's my GCF, and I still get x minus 6. I have matching parentheses, so I have 3x plus 1 as a factor, and x minus 6 is a factor. And don't forget about this guy up here in the original problem. He's also in my answer. He's my GCF. A lot of work for that one. You guys should be using these blue sheets like crazy because it tells you how to get through some of these problems on the front page. All right, number 11. Charlie, can I dose it?
Yes.
How do I know?
Subtraction.
2 terms, subtraction, 2 perfect squares. What's the square root of 9?
3.
What's the square root of x squared? What's the square root of 64? What happens to my signs?
1 plus 1 minus.
1 plus, 1 minus. Does dose make sense? It's a shortcut of dose
Oh
make
yeah.
sense.
I know. Square root.
Number 10. This is a shortcut, okay? I don't have a GCF, I don't have to swing anything, I can get right into my AM method. So I need 2 numbers that multiply to give me 45 and add to give me 14. What are my factors here?
1 and 3, 5. 3 and 15. 9.
Alright, which one would be my best bet? 14. 5 and 9. Everything can stay positive because they're both positive there. So Ronaldo, for my shortcut, what are my factors? No? What do you have here?
Oh, x plus 5. And then x minus 9.
Minus? Don't make up stuff. Positive 5, positive 9. So positive 5, positive 9. Okay. Number 12 is our last one. Well, kinda. To give you like a one that you're gonna see for sure. On number 12, you will see this again. Do I like a negative variable in the front?
No.
No, I don't like it at all. What do I do to get rid of that negative y? Huh?
You gotta put the 1.
I can take out a GCF, but it has to be what? Negative 1. Not just positive 1, negative 1. I want to get rid of that negative y squared. You will see this again.
Same exact.
Kind of. Alright, so I take out the negative 1, and I'm left with y squared plus y minus 12. My negative 1 out front can just stay. I'm cool with that. It's just a GCF. I'm going to try to factor my highlighted part. I can get right into my AM method. I have 3 terms. Okay? So, I need 2 numbers that multiply to give me negative 12 and add to give me 1. So you have 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4 is probably my best bet, right? What needs to be negative? The 3 and the 4 to give me a positive 1 to add.
3.
Negative 3 plus 4, yes, you were correct. So my answer is going to be y minus 3, and then y plus 4, and don't forget the negative 1 out.
Wait, who came looking for me today?
No one?
Why were you asking me if I did the tens?
Because we went through the last notes. I knew you would want to be here, but I saw that you had detention, so I assumed you were there. Any questions on 1 through 12?
Yeah, I was testing. But they did come looking for me.
Alright, find some space on your paper. I want you to do this because you're going to see it again. Write this down. 64AQ plus 729. Alright, this is going to be a SOAP problem. I know it is SOAP because when I have a binomial, I have a cube. 2 perfect cubes. What is the cube root of 64?
1.
Guys, focus. The cube root of 64 is 4. You hit math, number 4, and type in 64 and it comes up. Cube root of a cube? Of a. And then of 729, Sonia, is 9. And then I have 1 normal parentheses, 1 bigger one. And my first one, I'm putting both of my cube roots inside. So that is 4a, and that's positive 9. I do my signs last. I'm going to have 3 numbers here. My first number tells me I need to square my first term. So what is 4a squared? 16. A squared. What is 4a times 9? 36a. And for my last term, I squared my last term. So what is 9 squared? 81. Ronaldo, what are my signs here? Yep.
Wait for the I don't know how do we have to square root it?
Cube root.
Oh,
Ronaldo, what's my second sign? Same, opposite. What?
Adding.
What's the last one?
Oh, subtraction. I don't know.
Same, opposite, always positive. I'm starting with a plus sign, so my first sign is plus. Opposite, always positive.
I said what?
Well, when you're yawning, I can't really understand what's coming out of your mumbled mouth. Like a muffler.
You know, I fell asleep. Dang that song.
Any other questions?
I was thinking it comes. I was like,